So I recently just listened to a video, and it was by Jim Rohn. It was a motivational video, and I decided to start my morning off right. And he said that success is who we become, it's not what we achieve. And that spoke to me because it made me think about what I would normally do when I would get off work, how I wasn't really posting. I wasn't really putting in, a lot of, taking time to put in more, to put out more content, but not just to put out content, to actually research and actually learn, to self-educate myself. Because a lot of us think that education is when we're in school, but Jim Rohn talked about how self-education is really when it begins, and how when we're growing, we have to make time to grow, because growth is a process. It's an ongoing process. Every single day we're learning something new. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we feeding our minds? What are we feeding our spirit? How do we start our mornings off? People who are successful are people who start their mornings off the right way. That's with prayer. Whether they're praying, whether they're meditating, whether they're going to the gym, starting their day off by giving it to themselves, reading a book. I notice that sometimes I'll turn over and I'll look at my phone, or I'll see who called me or texted me. I'm no longer starting my day off like that, because that's not actually leading me to being successful. That's not leading me to, and it's not about the goals, but it's more about who I'm becoming. I'm creating more bad habits because I'm quick to give myself to other people and to external things that are around me rather than giving myself to me. So when I tell y'all each time is when it's not who I am when I come on this camera. When I'm behind the camera, when I'm behind the scenes, that's when everything is happening. I am not perfect. I am still learning. I am still growing. I am still in the process of developing a stronger mindset, developing a stronger spirit, developing a stronger attitude, and creating better habits. And also with my speaking as well. I am still in the process of becoming the version that I want to see myself as. Because as I'm doing this every day, I'm altering, every day I'm changing, and I'm doing something different. I didn't want to put these videos out because I was sick, but I decided to go ahead and do it because it doesn't stop. And I don't want to just put videos out about anything. These videos are to help other people and to understand that the mistakes that I make in my life will be a guidance for you to not make the same mistakes, and to actually see that you can achieve the goals that you desire. But instead of you looking outside of you and wanting to achieve those goals, who are you if you don't actually become it is what you want to attract? A lot of us think, we look at people, we see people with cars, we see people with clothes, we see people with all of these things. And the same people that we see, or what we see in society, the people that we follow on social media, their attitudes haven't changed. Okay? Money cannot change you into a person who is disciplined. Money or even success cannot change you into somebody, or just, I'm going to say money, but it cannot give you that, not even the motivation, but the actual discipline that you need to keep going. You have to first decide the kind of person that you want to be. So instead of you building off of the surface, you have to build more deep. So when I start to realize that every day is a day to self-educate myself, every day is a day for me to pick up a book, every day is a day for me to meditate, every day is a day for me to journal. Ooh, excuse me. I've been looking at things so wrong. And it's really about, he also talked about us falling to the level of our systems. What are we doing what are we doing as of every day? The first moment that you wake up, what is the first thing that you go and do? You have to ask yourself. You have to then self-reflect throughout the day. What did the day teach us? What did we experience? What mistakes did we make so that we won't do the same thing that we did today? So tomorrow can be better. What ideas am I implementing to move forward in my life? See, life is about you. Not only is life, I know I talk about how we talk about adversity, but life is also about being able to show up. You show up each and every day, you decide to pick up a book. You show up each and every day, you decide to journal. You show up each and every day, you decide to go to the gym, even when you don't want to. Even when you don't want to actually, you don't have the motivation, or you just like, you know what, I'm feeling tired today. Like when I was feeling tired, when I was feeling sick, I still decided to posted a video. I still decided to put out content, because what I learned is that consistency, Jim Rohn said, consistency is what builds mastery. Repetition builds consistency, right? So when I listen to, with me doing my research and not just only learning and understanding the law of assumption, but also understanding that, not just only understanding these things to just, you know, to just, show the world, and just to do it because I want to impress people. This is not for impression. This is to build my character and to become, this is who I am on an everyday basis. I am a woman that likes to learn because I am the student in life. Therefore, I'm constantly learning, and I have to learn something new in order to master my intelligence and to build more character. It shows the kind of person I am because what I'm willing to do. Okay? If there's something that you don't know, it doesn't make you dumb. All you have to do is ask questions. This is why we have books. This is why we have a library. Not everyone is willing to pick up a book. Not everyone is willing. I guarantee you only 5 to 10% of people are actually reading. Even I myself don't read every day, but I decide to listen to something that's going to get my day started and that's going to get me in motion. Right? And I will actually show y'all when I do go, because I do plan on going to Barnes and Nobles, baby, next week. I'm going to go to the library, and I'm going to get me some more books that I can read, because I had some books. I had books by Jen Sincero, books, You Are a Badass. I have books by, I forgot his name, James, I think it's James Clear, Atomic Habits. I haven't even finished that book yet. I have The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And so, so I had wrote a few things down, and one thing that really stood out to me was when Jim Rohn did say, learn to figure things out. Confidence is not necessarily just about, you know, I forgot what he said specifically, because I just forgot. But confidence is also about learning to figure things out. When we have a hard task, we assume that, okay, maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just give up. But that's not what that means. How when I was talking to y'all about the bike, when life is like riding a bike, life is like driving a car. You don't just give up. You keep practicing, and you constantly get out there and keep doing it. Having repetition is what's going to build your character, is what's going to make you successful. Because the more you keep doing something and you work harder at it, even if it is difficult, don't ask for it to be easier, but rather ask, what can I do to be better, right? And that's not a quote by me, but because when we focus on more so of the goals. So like when people focus on, okay, let me just focus on my manifestation. Let me focus on manifesting this specific person, manifesting the love of my life. Let me focus on manifesting the money. Okay, but what kind of person do you want to be to sustain that money? Because if you're not working on your beliefs, if you're not working on building your character, if you're not doing and setting yourself up every day to become a better version of yourself, then you're going to lose the money. Then you're going to lose the love of your life because you're not working on you. Jim Rohn said it himself, work harder on ourselves than we do at our job, because it's not about the external things. The external things is the reward. It's about who we are becoming and how we are setting ourselves up every single day. So remind yourself before you decide to look at the phone, before you decide to give into the worldly events that surround you, before you decide to give yourself or give your attention to toxicity or drama, gossip, all of these things that we fill our minds with every single time, we are only keeping ourselves stagnant at the same position. We're not growing. He mentioned growing is not neutral. It's either you're growing or you're not. So you can't be in between. So my question to you is, what are you doing? Peace.